Welcome, everybody. It is February 9th, 2022. You are at the Design Advisory Committee meeting. It is 4:35 p.m. and I call the meeting to order. Before we begin, I wish to inform you that two members are no longer serving on the Design Advisory Committee. Jonathan Lampier has relocated to London. I wish to especially thank him for all of his great contributions and his astute comments, and for helping me these past 18 months as vice chair. We wish him the very best. Elizabeth Berry has also recently submitted her resignation. We wish her the best as well. And finally, member Nicholas Robbins has requested a leave of absence from the committee, which has been granted. He will return to the committee at a later date to be determined. Now I'm going to begin with a roll call. I'm going to ask each member to introduce themselves, and we'll check if your camera and audio are working. Beginning with you, Tom.
Hello, Tom Gribben here.
Thank you, Tom. Jesse.
Jesse Hitchcock. Hi, everyone.
Sarah.
Hi, folks. I'm here.
Thank you. Nancy.
Nancy Solomon.
Christina.
Hi, Christina Verissimo. Hi, everybody.
Jana.
Hi, this is Jana.
Wonderful. This takes us to item 1.1, the election of the chair and the vice chair. Jill will conduct an election of the chair. I'm going to hand over things to Jill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So just to give a brief overview of how this will go, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the position of chair. Once there's a nomination, I would ask that it be moved and seconded. And then I will call 3 more times for further nominations. If there's more than one person, we certainly have Survey Monkeys ready to go. So you would be able to do a secret ballot. So at this point, I would open the floor for nominations for the position of chair of Design Advisory Committee.
Am I allowed to speak? Sorry, I raised my hand.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I would like to move to have Ted be the chair of our Design Advisory Committee.
I would ask Ted, would you accept the nomination from the floor?
Accept the nomination.
Okay, and if I could get a seconder for that.
Yeah, I'd second that.
Okay, and I'm going to call 3 more times. Is there any further nominations for the position of chair? Second time, is there any further nominations for the position of chair? Third and final time, is there any further nominations for the position of chair of Design Advisory Committee? So at this point, I would ask that we call for the question, or that I ask for a mover and a seconder to close the floor for nominations. If I could get a mover and a seconder for that, please.
I'll move to close the floor to nominations.
I second.
Okay, I call a question on that. Somebody want to call the question for that?
Sure, I'll call.
Okay, any, so is all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then I would just ask for the question to be called for the nomination. Does somebody want to call for the question?
I'll call for the question.
Okay,
Tom can.
perfect. And all those in favor of Ted being appointed as the chair? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Congratulations, Ted. You're now the chair, and I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Thank you for handling that, Jill. Okay, the next order of business is to call for nominations for the position of vice chair. I'll open the floor for nominations. Is there anybody who wishes to nominate someone for the position of vice chair?
May I nominate Jesse, at least for the month?
Jesse, do you accept the nomination?
Sure. Yep.
Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Sarah. Okay, I'm going to call again. We have one nominee for vice chair. Does anybody else wish to nominate somebody for vice chair? That's the second time. Hearing none for the third time. Calling for nominations for the vice chair. Hearing nothing, I'd like to get a motion to close the nominations. Can I have somebody, please?
I'll push that motion, Nancy.
Thank you. Nancy motions to close the nominations, and I need a seconder for that.
Aye.
Seconded by Christina. I'm going to call for the question. All in favor of closing nominations, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. It is closed. Now, we will call for a vote for vice chair. All in favor of Jesse, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Congratulations, Jesse, you are the vice chair.
Congratulations, Jesse.
Well deserved. Okay, we're on to item number 2, the approval of the minutes for November 10th, 2021 and December 8th, 2021. I'm going to call, are there any errors or omissions or additions to either of the minutes?
Yes, I have additions to the minutes of November the 10th. At last meeting in December, we did not approve the minutes from the previous meeting, and we sent the addition, what we felt should be the added to the minutes of November. We sent them to the clerk, to Jill, and she sent them out to everyone on the committee this morning, I do believe. So I would like those additions added to those minutes. If there's any discussion, do we need to read them out? What is the formality here?
I believe we need to have them read out on the public record.
Okay. What was, can you hear me? Am I still here?
You certainly are.
Yep.
Okay. What was in the minutes that we heard on the December meeting of the November meeting was, and there was an overview of correspondence was forwarded to the current planning staff in July 2020. There was a response from Erin McIntyre, a director, and it was forwarded to the committee members. And we wish to replace the paragraph 4. The paragraph 4 read, committee members outlined questions regarding the committee's role. And we want to add to that, the committee members, this is the addition to the minutes. Committee members outlined questions and concerns regarding the committee's role in the site plan approval process. Some of the key issues raised were, 1, the committee still does not have a tracker requested in March the 10th, 2021 that tracks each recommendation of the committee and whether it was accepted or not by the applicant. Without this tracker, it is impossible to determine whether the committee has any benefit to the city of Halifax. Number 2, we are a team of highly qualified professionals and bring innovation and best practice to this volunteer role. Our wish was to help the city, and our expectations of the role were higher This is not a good use of citizen and volunteer time. Number 3, the committee has no meaningful input into the site application process and recommendations are almost all ignored. Number 4, it feels like members are expected to rubber stamp everything. The meetings are a waste of time. Just hold a minute, please. I'm sorry, I've lost it here at the moment. Can anybody continue with that, reading that for?
Sure, it's Nancy here. I can
Can you
read it,
continue
Mr.
with
Chair.
that, please? Yes.
Okay, Nancy, we'll continue on. Thank you.
Okay. Item number 5, terms of reference are too narrow. For example, the TOR have very little to do with the environment and sustainability. Item number 6, our terms of reference limit us to advising on 51 trivial design requirements. These DRs do not require a group of professionals to review. What benefit is there to the city? How is it worth the effort of gathering city staff, clerks, and professionals together monthly to review? Item number 7, political theater. HRM gets the benefit of saying it has a team of arm's length experts reviewing applications and recommending approval. However, the DAC's mandate is so narrow that it has no meaningful influence on any developments. The volunteers feel that the city may be leveraging their involvement to provide the impression of citizen involvement when none exists. Item number 8, the committee's members are not upset because they lack personal influence. It is a frustration that this is how the city chooses to do design review. There should be more meaningful input from citizens in some form. Item number 9, HRM does not have an architect or architecture department and relies on the design advisory committee to provide advice, but the DAC recommendations are all ignored. What is the point? For the items that have committee members had questions regarding the amendments to the regional center land use bylaw as it relates to the committee's mandate, we are requesting to add and the usefulness of the DAC within the process of site plan approval.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Tom. Do I have a seconder for that? Be seconded by Christina. Any discussion or any other further additions or omissions? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor of the amended minutes for November 10th, 2021, and the minutes as documented for December 8th, 2021, say aye.
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 Opposed? No, hearing none. The meeting minutes are approved as amended. Okay. Item number 3 is the approval of the order of business and the approval of additions and deletions. We're aware that there should be an addition. Can I have a motion, please?
Yeah, I can do that. So motion to amend the agenda to add a motion to item 10. And the item will be that the DAC will draft a joint letter to HRM Council.
2/3. Oh, first of all, do I have a seconder for that? Seconded by Sarah. I need at least 2/3 approval. I'm going to call for the question. All in favor of this amendment?
Aye.
Susanna, was that an aye?
Yes. Aye.
Yes. Okay, you had your camera off. I couldn't. Opposed? Okay, the amendment carries unanimously. The approval of the order of business has been amended. Thank you. Item number 4 is business arising out of the minutes. There are none. Item 5 is a call for declarations of conflict of interest. There shouldn't be any, but I'll call anyway. Okay, none, hearing none. Item 6 is consideration of deferred business. There is none. And item 7, correspondence, petitions, and delegations. Where there's some correspondence. Jill, can you please just sum up how much correspondence we have, please?
Thank you very much. We have received one piece of correspondence from yourself for discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. So that correspondence, as all committee members and everybody in this meeting is aware, was it included 2 motions that our committee had a desire to put on the floor. They were originally ruled out of order, and now one of them is allowed to be included. So that motion that is deemed in order will now be discussed in item 10.1 as Jesse amended. The second one we will just discuss here. It will not be a motion, but we'll discuss it, and we're going to read it out on the record. So this motion was born out of about 18 months of this committee meeting and reviewing applications, and we decided that we should formally request from city staff, the planning staff, to adopt this modified tracker that I developed over the past month. It's attached in correspondence. This tracker was first requested by us in March 2021. Planning staff, they did a lot of work, and they prepared a simplified tracker for us in our December meeting, which was very useful, and it was the basis from which I modified it and added some statistics to it. It is our belief that this modified tracker more explicitly identifies which recommendations have been accepted by applicants and which ones are not. And so what I'm going to do is read the motion that we would have made and see if there was support for it. And to Jill, I would ask if you could please document this verbatim in the minutes. I will be able to send you the wording exactly after the meeting. It goes as follows. With regards to the tracker, and whereas the members of the DAC have found little evidence of the benefit of the work since its inaugural meeting in September 16, 2020, and whereas the committee believes that the DAC and city staff and HRM council and the citizens of Halifax should have information that allows them to measure the impact of the committee's work, and whereas the committee has developed a modified DAC application tracking document, which documents all motions and recommendations of the committee since inception and whether they have been accepted or not, the committee hereby requests that the committee and planning staff work together to come up with the solution, which will allow this revised DAC application tracking document be maintained and updated and included as an agenda item for discussion at every meeting of the DAC for the lifetime of the committee or until the DAC votes to end updates. Now, having said that, I would just like to get an informal show of hands of who was in support. Okay, I note that there's full support, unanimous support for this. Jill, could you please have the minute show that the chair notes full support? And with that, I'll open up the floor if anybody would like to make any kind of comments. No. Okay.
I think it's just a comment. It's a very good piece of work, and it shows very, very clearly that we are very much howling in the wind, which is unfortunate because as we discussed in November, there's a lot of expertise and a lot of effort and a lot of enthusiasm around this table, and this is the first time with this tracker to see, in a way, how pointless all our work has been. But there is hope for the future if the letter to the council and with the working with the planning department should produce a terms of reference for a more meaningful design review process. Hopefully our work in the last year and a half has not been completely lost.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for these motions, Ted.
Further comments? Sarah.
Just echoing Tom's comments, I'm just really happy that this document exists. Other committees have done some similar work, but over a long period of time, like 3 or 4 or 5 years, to look at the impact of the work that they're doing. And so hopefully the long-term solution here is more is easier to get to because of the data that we've been able to work on with staff. So thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. We're still open if anybody else would like to add any comments. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on from item number 7. Thank you, guys. Item number 8, information items brought forward. There are none. Item 9, item 9.1.1, the site plan application approval application tracker for February 2022. We're going to move this over, and it will be Stephanie Norman who will be updating us. Stephanie.
Hi there. So updating you on the tracker there?
Yes, please.
Sure. So I made some changes. We had several applications that were in under package A, and they subsequently transitioned into changing their proposal to meet package B. So I removed several of the site plan applications.
Do we expect any applications next month?
We do have one pre-application at this stage right now under package B, and I anticipate it to come in March or April.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? No. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That takes us to item number 10 for added items. So the added items, as we know, is a motion for a letter to be written on behalf of the entire committee to HRM Council. So what I would like to have is somebody who could volunteer to make the motion for this, please.
I'll move it. Do you want me to read it all out though?
Could you please read it?
Okay, 1 second. Has the wording changed at all from when you sent it before?
No, it hasn't.
Okay. Whereas the DAC committee members have routinely had concerns with the limited mandate of the committee and whether the committee has any ability to provide any meaningful benefit to the citizens of Halifax. And whereas the committee concerns have grown with the passing of package B by HRM Council on October 26, 2021, which further reduces the mandate of the DAC. The committee requests that the chair of the committee, Ted Farquhar, write a letter on its behalf to HRM Council summarizing the concerns of the committee members.
Moved by Sarah. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Susanna. Open the floor for discussion. If you're ready, I can call for the question. I think so. I'm going to call for the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Okay, it passes unanimous. Thank you all very much. This takes us to item 11, date of the next meeting, if necessary, will be on March 9th, 2022. That takes us to item number 12, before it's adjournment, but before we get that, I just have a few very brief comments. I'd like to express some gratitude. First of all, I want to thank our planning department folks who are here today, and for all the planning department members who have participated with the Design Advisory Committee since our inception. We know that you're drowning in work and you need new members, and yet you come every meeting fully prepared with a good presentation and you gamely answer all of our questions. We thank you for that. Especially want to note the efforts of Aaron McIntyre, who has handled our most difficult questions and has enthusiastically and sincerely made a great effort to be very helpful to our committee and has done so in a professional manner. Aaron has been noted. Thank you. To past and current members, remember our first member, Larry, who left us after only one meeting. We say thank you to you, and also to other members who have left, such as Ramon, and Elizabeth, and of course, Jonathan. And to everybody who's here today, you have been wonderful members. You brought great effort and great enthusiasm, all in an effort to make the city better. Cities like Halifax really thrive on having engaged citizens. And so we've been very lucky to have each of you. And I want to express my sincere gratitude. I really loved working with you and getting to know you all. So thank you all. And with that, we can go to item number 12.
Thank you very much, Ted. You're a very gracious speaker, and we in the committee echo your wishes, and thank you to the planning department, and thank you to all my colleagues on the design advisory committee, and hopefully we will meet again and continue to do good work, better work in the year ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Ted, very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ted.
With that, we'll go to adjournment. I only need a mover. Can I have someone move to adjourn, please?
You can motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Jesse. The meeting